Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, All-RMAC offensive lineman out of Fort Lewis College, and he's a Chicago native, Arthur Ray Jr. I appreciate you taking some time to chat, Arthur. How's it going?
It's going good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, and let's get right to it. To say you've had a hell of a journey to get to where you're at today, Arthur, would definitely be an understatement, so let's just start right there. Coming out of Mount Carmel High School, a football powerhouse in Chicago, you had damn near every college interested in you, and you decided to attend Michigan State to play for the Spartans. About 2 months after you signed your letter of intent, you were diagnosed with bone cancer in your left leg. Throughout the next 4 years, you would then have to go through 9 surgeries related to the cancer and 25 months on crutches. You've definitely been hit with some challenges, but you've been able to overcome them, and it doesn't get any better than that, Arthur. Can you just take us through those 4 years, how you were able to not only beat cancer, but return to the football field after being told by doctors that it would be impossible for you to play the game that you love?
Oh man, it's surreal. It's sort of been a long journey for me. Definitely me and my family. In 2007, I got diagnosed. Everything was just my whole world was shook. And the only doctor that really gave me hope was my doctor, my surgeon, Dr. Catellis at Chicago Rush Hospital. And he was the first person that said, I might have a chance to play ball. So, that was that. So I went through a year of chemotherapy, and I had surgery that July to remove my cancer tumor, and then I took chemo right after that. So I enrolled in Michigan State in January. Then in January, after spending a few months in Michigan State, I got diagnosed with a bone infection. So I had to get sent back home. So that's really what the bone infection really sent me back another year. Because if everything had healed properly the first time, I would have came back a lot sooner. So I had to get sent home again, and then I'm at home for another year, and I don't even have a bone in my leg. I got a cement spacer in my leg, and I'm at home taking at-home antibiotics. I got a home care nurse, and it was crazy, man. I was 18 years old, and all of this was happening, and I had no idea if I was going to get healthy or anything like that. It was just, I really needed my support system, really needed my family and my faith at that moment. But, as I started, everything went good. I had another surgery, put my bone in the hardware back in my leg, and, that's what took me so long. I spent 2 years on crutches, and then I started building myself back up. Normally when I was on crutches, I was in the weight room working on my upper body real hard and taking mental reps, a lot of mental. I became a better mental football player from my time when I was injured at Michigan State, and it was just great. So then once I walked for a year at Michigan State, just walked to class, and then the next year after that, I jogged around a little bit. Then that spring, that's when they finally cleared me to do everything. It was a great day. Played that entire year, and it was good, man.
It's definitely hard to keep up with all that. I mean, it's just so crazy. But after 4 years of, just fighting, just grinding to not only just play football, but to walk again, you did eventually overcome it, and you returned to the football field in 2011. What was that moment like for you to put on those pads and play in your first ever college football game? I mean, can you just take us through that? I got to think that was just amazing.
Yeah, it was. I think that's the perfect word for it. It was amazing. It was a perfect ending of the pain, I guess, in the physical sense. I had been through so much physically through those past three to 4 years total, and just to come back on the field and to be strong and to be able for my leg to support me and being 300 pounds, and it was good, man. It was very, very special moment for me, a moment that I'll always cherish.
Did you ever think about putting up the pads for good, or did you know that you were going to be returning to that football field?
You know what? It's a funny situation. It's just I had some days were better than others, but overall, no, I never thought I'd have to put the pads up. It was something in me. It was a burning desire in me, my love for the game, and just me feeling like it wasn't done with me. And as I begin to progress through my rehab, I tell myself, I said, man, I can run. I'm going through drills, and I still got my feet. And I'm like, God, I don't think God would bless me with the ability to still move how I move and basically utilize my body like nothing ever happened if He wouldn't allow me to keep playing. So, it was a blessing. But no, I never thought my career was over.
All right, so you were able to play in 3 games during that 2011 season with Michigan State. They were against Youngstown State, Florida Atlantic, and Indiana. You were then granted 2 years of eligibility by the NCAA because of your battle with cancer, and you decided to change things up and transfer to Fort Lewis College in Colorado to play with the Skyhawks. How did you come up with that decision to transfer to a small D2 school that isn't really known for their athletics?
Well, the Fort Lewis decision was basically my best friend at Michigan State who played receiver there. He transferred to Fort Lewis, so he was telling me all about him during the season. So once everybody got word that I was planning on transferring from state after I received my degree, he was definitely a big advocate for Fort Lewis, and I've never been to Colorado before that, and definitely Durango, Colorado is such a small town. I never had heard of it. But, it came down to Fort Lewis because they really fought for my years. I had spoke with the NCAA about getting my 2 years of eligibility back, and, they had told me that was definitely something possible, and, Fort Lewis, they followed suit, and they made it happen, and I was granted my 2 years of eligibility, and, I really appreciated that. Appreciated them going to fight for me to get my years back. And so, I said, I'll go to Colorado and let's finish the career out.
Chris Shanafelt talking to 2015 NFL draft prospect, offensive lineman out of Fort Lewis College, and cancer survivor Arthur Ray Jr. And Arthur, your first season at Fort Lewis, you played in 6 games until you suffered a season-ending knee injury. Was this related to the bone cancer at all, or was this just a totally different injury?
It was a totally different injury. It was I tore my meniscus, and it was totally unexpected. It literally happened. I was kick sliding, and I tripped over my guard, and it just happened in midair. I landed funny, but it was total separate, totally different leg. My cancer was on my left leg. This was my right knee. And
how's that knee feeling nowadays? Is it all right?
Yeah, it's 100%. I had bumped it a little bit in beginning of the season, and I had to get another surgery, and so I missed 2 games. But other than that, since then I've been fine. I was able to finish the season strong, and I literally came back 2 weeks after surgery, so it was perfect.
That's definitely great to hear. And this past season, coming off of that knee injury, it was your final year of eligibility. What were both your individual and team expectations, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level?
Oh, individually, I just wanted to play at a high level and show people that that my leg was healthy, and that I could still return to form. And I just wanted to be a great leader, great team leader. This was my second year being a team captain. I just wanted to take ownership of the offensive line and just teach the younger guys and show them anything I could to help them out. And I just wanted to play at a high level, man. I really as far as accolades, I was more concerned with my team success. I was more concerned with how we did as a unit. We really didn't play as well as I thought we should have, but towards the middle of the season, then throughout the end, I really feel like as an offensive line we grew, as an offensive group, and definitely as a team we grew.
Well, yeah, you've definitely had a solid college football career, especially, just with everything you've gone through, just seeing how much love you have for the game, being able to fight and finally finish up your college football career. I know it's been a long journey, but you finally were able to do it. You're now a 2015 NFL draft prospect, and this past season, the Skyhawks finished 3-8. Like you said, not really the team success that you guys expected to have this season. And Arthur, you were able to play in 8 games this season, including that 23-22 nail-biting victory over CSU Pueblo, who is actually getting ready to play Minnesota State Mankato in the Division II football championship game. Is it safe to say that that victory over CSU Pueblo was the biggest or most memorable game of your Skyhawk career?
Yeah, definitely. That Pueblo game was personal. It was real personal for me, because Pueblo, they obviously have a bunch of talented players, but I was pretty much hearing about their defensive line all week, and I took the game personal. To me it was great because it lit that fire again. It was a challenge. I had not being a Division I recruit. You don't really hear too much about the D2 level, and I definitely have more respect for the Division II level now that I've played 2 years. I really feel like there's a lot of talented players that get overlooked. And that game was huge for us, and we came out as a line, and me personally came out there with a chip on our shoulder, and we physically won that game. We won that game, pounding the ball and running the rock, and our defense took care of business. It's crazy because I said after we won the game, I said, I want Pueblo to win every game after us. So we're the only loss in their column. So that's funny that they're winning this game today. I hope they take care of business for the RMAC.
Do you think they will win the championship?
Yeah, they got a lot of talent, man. I really respect their team, and Coach Riston's he's a great coach. I had the chance to talk to him after the game, and I met him at the RMAC Media Day. He's pretty familiar with a lot of my coaches that coached me at Michigan State, so we had a nice conversation. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for them boys today. They represent our conference, and I feel like Division II football needs to start getting noticed a little bit on a bigger pedestal. So I'm definitely rooting for them today.
Absolutely. I know, like you said, that team is loaded with talent. Quarterback Chris Bonner, he looks like he'll be a solid 2015 NFL draft prospect as well. Wide receiver Paul Browning. You mentioned that defensive line. Darius Allen is a monster on that defensive line for them. So, like you, I'm also pulling for CSU Pueblo to take the D2 football championship. Now, Arthur, starting at the D1 program in Michigan State, going through all that you went through, and now finishing up at the D2 program in Fort Lewis, how would you describe your overall college football experience? It's been a hell of a ride.
It's been a hell of a ride. It's been great. I went to Michigan State. I've been to multiple bowl games. I won the Big Ten championship. I have four rings from Michigan State as well as my degree, and then going to Fort Lewis and actually being able to step on the field and play, and be accounted for, be a pivotal part of the team. That was another side for me. That was the side that I really missed. As I was going through everything, and I was coming back at Michigan State, I really missed being a player, and being a pivotal part of my team's success. So I was able to live that at Fort Lewis, and I had a lot of pressure, which I welcomed. And my college experience overall was fantastic. I wouldn't trade it. Durango, Colorado wasn't necessarily on the plan, but it's definitely a fun place, and it was a place that I needed to grow.
Absolutely. Now, if possible, I'd like for you to mention one guy from the D1 level and another guy from the D2 level. Who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've played against at each level?
Okay, the most impressive player I've played against at the D1 level, I'd have to say it would have to be Jarrell Worthy in practice. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
You're gonna throw
years ago.
You're gonna throw a Green Bay Packer on us.
He's a second-round pick by the Packers. Yeah.
Come on, man. We're a Chicago show. You're gonna throw a Green Bay Packer at us?
Nah. Right, but he going against him in practice. Big guy, 300-pounder, real quick, real explosive. Going against him in practice, and especially when I was coming back, it was great. It was great preparation for me, and just to see a player play at his level, it was fun. And then at the D2 level, it'd have to be Darius Allen. I feel like Darius Allen has D1 ability. He's a quick player, and he knows how to shed blocks real good. He has real good hands. Me and him we battled all game. that was one of my better games, and it was because he was out there. You know, I'm a real big stiff on competition, and I hate losing. So you know, everybody was telling me he was the best all week. He definitely lived up to it, and I tried to show him that I was pretty good as well.
Very nice, very nice. Chris Shanafelt talking to 2015 NFL draft prospect, offensive lineman Arthur Ray Jr. out of Fort Lewis College. And Arthur, if you had to single out one, what's the biggest or most memorable play that you've been a part of throughout your college football career?
The most memorable play, it has to be my first play at Michigan State. It'd have to be my mother was there, she was able to come and be in attendance for that game, and you know, it was all of my supporters and all the years of pain and all the years of getting set back and disappointed and having my hopes up and not really being at the level that I wanted to be. You know, that probably I say that was a perfect ending to the beginning. You know, a lot of people thought my career was going to end after that. A lot of people was like, after I did the play, you know, I'd have to go on and do other things, but nobody understood my drive. Nobody still really understands my drive or what motivates me. But I think that was the end of my chapter of being sick and being counted out. And I went to grind right after that to become a great player. And I'm happy that I'm even up for contention as far as the draft coming up this year.
Absolutely. You've certainly proved a lot of people wrong throughout this journey of yours. While Fort Lewis College isn't really represented in the NFL, Michigan State is. I mean, there's a ton of Spartans in the NFL. You mentioned Jarrell Worthy. Any chance that you've been able to talk to anybody that has had any type of experience at the next level, and have they given you any advice as to what to expect during this draft process?
Oh, yeah. I'm really very good friends with Deion Sanders, tight end from Miami Dolphins. Me and him we real tight back for our days at State. And, you know, we talk almost every week. You know, I just talk to him and ask him about how the season is going and just being an NFL player. And, you know, he definitely been walking me through this process. He just told me, you know, to not stress on the things I can't control and just grind, just work out as hard as I can. And when I get the opportunity, just to show people what I can do, because everything else, you know, I really can't control. I can't control that. You know, that I had cancer at 17, and you know, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to harp on that until they see me in person and see that I can move fluidly and play this game still. And you know, I can't control that I had to go to a Division II program to prove myself. You know, pretty much all of that's set in stone now. So you know, really, my relationship with Deion has really helped me throughout this process a lot.
Now, let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want offensive lineman Arthur Ray Jr. out of Fort Lewis College a part of his team?
He should want me because I'm a grinder, and I will persevere through any obstacle put in front of me. There hasn't been a roadblock in my path that I haven't got over, around, or through. And you know, I love this game with everything in me, and that's what drives me to get up and work out and to train and to get better. And I really feel like I can help a team out. I really feel like I can bring passion, leadership, and definitely football knowledge, because I truly love this game, and I'm grateful for every opportunity I get to play it.
Now, looking at some of your highlights, I see that you are pretty versatile. I mean, you have experience of playing left tackle, center, and right tackle. What do you feel is your biggest strength as an offensive lineman, and is there a certain spot on that O-line that you'd rather play more than any other?
Well, you know, I played tackle at Fort Lewis to answer the question, like, is his leg okay? You know, when you play tackle, you're on an island, so you have to kick slide, you got to block people in space, you got to move your feet, and you got to maintain a good balance. So you know, that's I played right tackle last season and center, and I played left tackle this year, which I feel like greatly benefited me and really answered a lot of initial questions that anybody had on whether or not I was healthy. But me personally, I think I'd rather play center. You know, and I just feel like just because center's the leader of the offensive line. You know, they make all the calls. You know, it takes a real guy. You got to trust your center. You know, your center sets up everything for the rest of the line. They all feed off him. You know, and I really feel like that's a role that I'd love to step into. And also, center is the first position that I ever learned how to play when I first started playing football in 7th grade. So, it'd be nice to get back to my roots a little bit.
What about a weakness? Anything specific that you'll be taking some time to improve on during the off season?
I'll probably just snapping, because I haven't snapped consistently in a while. I definitely, right now I'm getting close to 100 snaps in a week, and I'm working on my game, really working on my footwork and my balance and my explosion and everything. I'm just tidying up the little things in my game. I feel like I always can get better, always can improve on something, and I'm like a football junkie. I'm constantly on YouTube, looking at other offensive linemen in college football from this year and years past, looking at the things they do well, and NFL players, and trying to just take the things they do well and mold it into my game.
Yeah, you certainly cannot go wrong with that. Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL draft prospect, all-RMAC offensive lineman out of Fort Lewis College, Arthur Ray Jr. And Arthur, when did you realize that the NFL may not only be a dream, but it could become a reality?
I realized it actually during camp. We were on our way to Cal Davis, University of Cal Davis, and that was, it was a long trip, 21-hour bus ride, and it was crazy. We were preparing for the game, and we were going over our meeting before the game in the O-line, and we had just took our test, and my coach told me to stay after everybody had left. I'm guessing I thought he was going to tell me about some in-game adjustments or just things to some of the younger guys to look out for while they're on the field, because some guys it was their first time playing. But he had informed me that that the Atlanta Falcons had been calling regularly during camp, and that they were sending a scout to watch me in the game, and I was like, oh wow, it's really happening. That's when I had the NFL's always been a dream. It's always been a goal of mine, and I always felt like if I was able to get my body back and able to show people that I still could play, that it would definitely be a possibility. But it really became one, after he told me that. I really felt like, okay, now this is the exact position that I wanted to be in. So now I just gotta ball, I just gotta play, and that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've definitely had an interesting and unique journey to get to where you're at today, Arthur. Why do you believe you deserve a shot in the NFL?
I believe I deserve a shot in the NFL strictly because I can play at a high level, and I have, as far as intangibles wise, I've definitely been through a lot, and so I definitely know how to handle myself on and off the field. I won't be a problem in the locker room, anything like that, and I strictly love the game. None of this is being done for monetary reasons. It's really not about money with me. It's about playing football at the highest level. There's nothing better than that, just to say I play football at the highest level. And I feel like I deserve it because I'm back to playing at a high level now. I'm back. I got my strength back, and I had a successful season. I know a lot of guys are gonna hit me with I'm a small school guy, but I'm waiting to prove it against anybody. I feel like I can play with anybody now. I got my confidence back. I got my ability, my God-given ability, and I'm thankful.
I mean, the love that you have for the game certainly cannot be ignored. Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL draft prospect, offensive lineman out of Fort Lewis College, and Chicago native, Arthur Ray Jr. And just a few more questions, then I'll let you go, Arthur. I really do appreciate your time. If you would compare yourself to an offensive lineman currently playing in the NFL, who do you think that would be and why?
If I could compare myself to an offensive lineman, it'd have to be Marquise Pouncey. It was funny talking to my brother. I want to play center, and when I watch him play, his footwork just reminds me of me. Just like he's real technical sound, and he's real aggressive lineman. He plays a lot of passion, and he's definitely one of the NFL's best. I respect him in this game a lot, and I definitely think I fit into that mold.
Any chance that you've been invited to any college all-star games?
Well, right now we we waiting by the phones. You know, I got invited to the National Bowl and the Dream Bowl, but you know, I wasn't able to attend the National Bowl just because it was so soon after the season. I had to finish up some things in Colorado, so I wasn't able to make it. But you know, I'm waiting. Hopefully, I get a call from the College Gridiron Showcase or the Medal of Honor Bowl or the NFLPA Bowl. You know, I've been contacted by the NFLPA Bowl people. So, you know, I'm just waiting now, just praying and waiting and working. You know, just patiently trying to stay as patient as possible.
Sounds good, sounds good. How about scouts? You mentioned the Atlanta Falcons scout came to see you play. Were you able to meet with them or any other scouts for that matter?
No, that's what I'm working on. Sort of working on that now. As soon as the season ended, our coaches got to recruiting right away. I wasn't able to really catch up and really sit down with our coaching staff and see who had been in. So I was able to get the contact info. I know what teams have been in. The ones off head. I know the Panthers, Carolina Panthers were there. I met at that scout during camp. The Eagles have been there, and I know the Browns are at a game. And now I'm just waiting. I talked to the scout from the New York Jets last year at the end of last year. So I'm pretty sure I'll be in contact with him again soon. So yeah, it's just a waiting game, man. Just trying to keep doing the right things.
I hear you, man. That's definitely solid, though. I gotta think it feels really good seeing those teams coming in and out just to watch you. And last but not least, Arthur, the 2015 NFL Draft will be held from April 30th to May 2nd, and it's going to be a little different this year compared to years past. It'll actually be at the Roosevelt Auditorium in downtown Chicago. Do you plan on being in attendance? Will you be doing your own thing with friends and family at home? I know you still have plenty of time, but do you have any idea what you'll be doing during that time?
I'll probably be somewhere having a nice day with friends and family, man. You know, this will be a special moment for me, and hopefully, you know, if God blesses me, you know, I perform at a high level, going through the process, you know, I get my name called on that day, and it'd be great. Or hopefully, I just get an undrafted free agent call. I'd be flipping and jumping for excitement like I was the first rounder with that. But you know, it's just. And I'll probably be around my family, man. Be around the people that have been through this whole entire journey with me, and you know, they're close with me. That's definitely something I do.
Hey, sounds great. I mean, you just need one team to fall in love with you, man. You just need one team to give you that opportunity, and you know that could take you really anywhere. So, with that being said, Arthur, I mean, you have such a great story. You know, this past half hour or so, it's been great talking with you, and I'm certainly wishing you nothing but the best throughout this process. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
Oh no, I'm just excited, man, and I appreciate. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate that.
All right, thanks a lot, Arthur. Hopefully we could keep in touch and do this again down the line. Once again, wishing you nothing but the best.